And hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 26 of Gabbin with Oof here on the Oof Man Entertainment channel. Thank you so much for watching. And welcome to my Forbidden Door predictions for the show this Sunday night. AEW presents Forbidden Door. Now, I've been reading what everybody's saying about it, and I kind of agree with everyone. I think this concept needs to go. The Forbidden Door thing was cool, like I'd say the first three. But the Forbidden Door is seen every Wednesday night now, and stars from other companies are jumping over to AEW on Wednesdays, and sometimes on Collision, and then sometimes on pay-per-views for run-ins or whatnots, interviews, whatever. So, yeah, I think it's time to retire the Forbidden Door gimmick, the concept, and just give it a brand new name. So, as of this recording, there are 9 matches plus one. Actually, now 2, I should say, in the 0 hour. So we'll get into those real fast. So we'll spice things up a little bit, change things up a bit. So bam, that's me. That's me in the little corner over there. So yeah, this Sunday night in San Jose, California, 8 o'clock, I believe, is the start for Forbidden Door. So the first match that we're going to talk about for the buy-in, the 0 hour buy-in, whatever they want to call it, it's Micah versus Sky Blue for the Survival of the Fittest qualifier for the TBS championship. So they're doing this Survival of the Fittest from ROH that Tony Khan took the concept of. And I believe Micah and Sky Blue will determine the final combatant wrestler in that. And then it'll be 6 women, I believe, in a battle royale type thing. Or survival. I think it's pin and submission as well. And the winner will be the new TBS champion. So that has been added to the 0 hour. So the other match on the 0 hour as well is the tag team championships of the world for the women. We have Divine Dominion versus my girl Thunder Rosa and Olympia. I believe she's from Stardom. Well, since this is on the pre-show, I probably am going to check this out because my girl Thunder is in it. Unfortunately, I think my girl will take the loss because early predictions, early hashtag spoiler alert, I believe Divine Dominion are going to walk into Wembley in London at All In as the women's world tag team champions to lose them to the ladies of Mrs. Will Ospreay and Jamie Hayter. So I think that's where they dropped the title. So should be a good match, but unfortunately my girl Rosa and her tag team partner Olympia will take the loss. So sorry. I mean, it's a bummer, but again, I don't see the tag belts changing till at least All In August. All right, so to the main card. And again, as of this recording, these are the matches that are going to be on the main card. First up, we're going to discuss is the brand new IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, Umino. He takes on the guy we all know as Puck, the boss, the Puck. And I don't care about this match. The only cool thing about it is it actually follows the concept for Forbidden Door. So yay, confetti in the air. Umino, I'm told, I was listening and I read he just won the belt. So winner is Umino. That's all I have to say about that. Moving on. Next match is the 3-way tag team match between Sky Team, the Young Buckaroonies, and Unbound Co. Now, I have no idea who that third team is, who I just said. Again, I think this is probably a New Japan type of guy. Sky Team are CMLL guys. And then you have the Young Buckaroonies, Rod and Todd over there. And this one, I'm going to give it to the Bucks. I think they're going to win this. It's still, you got to remember, it still is an AEW pay-per-view, even though they're doing the whole Forbidden Door, other companies, yada, yada, yada shtick. But I'm going to go with the Young Buckaroonies because I think they're going to get a future tag team title shot against, well, we'll talk about that match in a couple seconds. So it should be a great match. This is going to be the video game match where they'll be doing all the flips and the dives and all that jazz. So sit down and enjoy it. And you're going to see some Lucha Libre pro wrestling for this match. But I have the Young Bucks winning this 3-way tag team title match. So we skip right along. To our next match on the card, we got the AEW Continental title is on the line by the champion John Moxley defending it against the ROH World Heavyweight Champion Bandito. If you saw Dynamite this past week, in a couple weeks, Bandito has been on a lot, wrestling a lot, and we all know Bandito can go. This guy is. I spoke about the three-way tag team match just a couple seconds ago with the flips and the dives and all that. Well, Bandito can do it as well. He is a human highlight reel. And John Moxley is just John Moxley. Now, I'm taking a bold prediction here saying that I do not believe John Moxley will bleed. But Mox, if you're listening, because I know you are, prove me wrong. But I have Moxley retaining. Bandito's already the ROH World Heavyweight Champion. I don't see him being two belts Bandito. And I think Moxley's going to drop it to someone else later on, before All In, definitely. Or he walks into All In with the title. I know there's one more pay-per-view in July, Redemption, which we'll talk about a lot in the other matches. So Moxley will retain his Continental Championship here in this match. Should be, again, another interesting, really good match. Flying right along to the other match that feels very Forbidden Door-ish. We got Kenny Omega taking on Zack Sabre Jr. This match has only been promoted for 2 weeks, this Wednesday and last week, and that was it. Zack Sabre Jr. didn't say donkey. Well, I think he said you're going to the hospital on this past week Dynamite, and that was it. So not too good of a job on Tony's part of promoting this pay-per-view, but it is Omega. It is Zack Sabre Jr. These two are going to give. This is probably going to be the match of the night, unless another one that we'll talk in a few seconds about. This may be the contender for match of the night. We know these two can go. Again, it does finally have that feeling of Forbidden Door, New Japan, Zack Sabre Jr. versus former Mr. New Japan, now AEW, Kenny Omega. So should be a good match. And again, keep your eyes on this, because this one and another one may be contenders for match of the night. Moving right along to the AEW Men's World Tag Team Championship. We have the challengers, the Dogs, woof, woof, against Cope and Cage, the defending champions. Now, on Dynamite, the Dogs did get the last laugh on the tag team champs, but has anybody ever noticed since the Dogs came to the company that they haven't been doing really that much with them? They came in with some fanfare. David Finlay, where is he going to go? Is he going to follow his father's footsteps, or is he going to go to AEW, or where is he going to go? And he came to AEW, and the Dogs haven't done doggity dog nothing. So I just find that funny. And as far as this goes, well, with Redemption in July being in Canada, there is no way they're taking the belts off of Cope and Cage, because they're going to walk into Canada as champions. And I do believe they're going to walk into Wembley as champions as well. There are two tag teams who are waiting for their 90 days to be up. I do predict that one of them will be signed to AEW, and their 90 days happen to end right, I believe it's the first weekend of August, and All In is at the end of August. So let's just say when Cope and Cage walk into Wembley in late August, it'll be a good match, because they may be facing a Day of New. Yes, I do believe New Day will be signed to AEW. Of course, it's not going to be called New Day, but I believe we will see Cope and Cage against the New Day in London. But for now, Cope and Cage retain, and they walk into Redemption next month as champions, and I think they're going to make it all the way to All In. But for now, Cope and Cage retain the championships. All right, now for these next couple matches, I have a lot of Austin theories on them. So they're both connected, so I purposely set the preview predictions with this way. So let's first talk about the Women's World Championship match. We got the challenger Starlight Kid from Stardom, I believe, taking on the women's champion Tekla. Now, of course, if you've been watching the programs, you've been noticing that Tekla has been going back to Stardom, attacking the president, mocking them, and then it all started a couple weeks ago when she climbed the ladder to the graphic, the jumbo screen in the entranceway. She was level with the Stardom logo, and she actually spit on the Stardom logo. She's been doing this for like for almost a month, I believe, mocking Stardom. Everything. I think ever since announcing Forbidden Door, she's been proud of the fact that she got fired from Japan. She attacked the president, like I said, I think twice now, and she spit on the Stardom logo. Now, everybody's wondering, well, oof, clearly Tekla is going to win this, right? Well, no. I'm going to go with Starlight Kid with the upset, the first upset of the night, and she actually beats Tekla. Now, dear viewer, you're probably wondering, whoa, why are you picking someone who the AEW audience doesn't know to beat Tekla, who Tekla's been killing it, and I've adored her character. She's been phenomenal. So why pick Starlight Kid over Tekla? Well, it's because what I just mentioned a couple seconds ago. Tekla has been destroying Stardom since the beginning of the announcement of Forbidden Door. And she's been putting them down, spitting the logo, attacking the president. And for Tekla to go into Forbidden Door and just straight up beating a Stardom talent, Stardom needs to get one up on Tekla. Again, I'm sorry for using logic in an illogical situation, but that's what I'm noticing. Tekla defeating Starlight Kid would make Stardom look like chumps. And I don't think, unless Stardom's cool with that. And again, if Tekla does win, all right, cool, she retains, but Stardom needs to get one up on Tekla. Again, attacking the president twice, invading their show, spitting on their logo. I think if Tekla wins, Stardom is going to look like a chump. The whole company is going to be like, look like a chump. Like, wow. So basically, Tekla has been right about everything she's been saying about Stardom. And Starlight Kid, I hear great things about her. She's a great wrestler. So it would just make sense for Starlight. Again, it would make sense for Starlight Kid to beat Tekla and become the new AEW Women's Champion. Now, as I said before, there is a pay-per-view in July, so we'll get to that in a few seconds. So let's final prediction for this one. Again, this is the one of the first upset of the night. Starlight Kid will defeat Tekla and become the new AEW Women's Champion, which leads us into our very next match that has connections to this match, which is the finals of the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament, Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. Now, what's funny, I guess, of this match is when we first heard about the tournaments for both the men's and the women, and we got the brackets, and I believe I did an episode on this a couple episodes ago. I gave my own predictions. If you go back to that episode or look at the original bracket, when Tony Khan announced the participants of the both Owen Hart tournaments, neither Mercedes nor Maya were in the tournament. Due to Willow going down, we got Mercedes Moné. There was Sari, she was injured, got replaced by Maya World. Maya World lost her brother a couple weeks ago. Tony Khan told her to sit this one out, but Maya said no, she's going in. All right, she defeated Sky Blue, the big upset, defeating Athena, because everybody was predicting Mercedes Moné versus Athena for the finals. I didn't, but that was just me. And so Maya's got herself a little like a winning streak going on. She beat Sky Blue. Everyone's saying it was the upset heard around the world. She beat Athena. And now here she is in the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And again, with everything against her, look how great she's done. And Mercedes Moné is Mercedes Moné. Now, so who's going to win this? Who did I choose in the predictions? Shout out to Noah Foster with the predictions over there. Who did I choose? Well, it deals with the previous match as well. Again, we have a pay-per-view in July called Redemption. And then now you may want to go back and see this, but this happened. So Mercedes Moné is announced as the wild card. She beats, I believe it was Jamie Hayter. Then what did Mercedes do after the match? She went up to the entrance ramp, saw the trophy, and then she grabbed the women's Owen Hart Cup championship, the belt. Now, what's that got to do with Mercedes and the prediction? Well, it's because for the past 6 months, what was Mercedes doing? She kept losing all her. She had 13 belts. 12 were titles. 1 was the Owen Hart Cup belt. So let's go with she had 13 belts. And what happened to 12 of them? They all left her hands, left her waist, left her shoulder. Now, if you remember last year, Mercedes did win the Owen Hart Cup last year. So it's not that she's the defending champion, but that belt is still technically hers. So what I'm saying is Mercedes still has one belt on her, literally, and that's the Owen Hart belt. And next month, we have a pay-per-view called Redemption. So, on Sunday, she got the shock win against oh man, I'm shooting blanks. We're live, baby. I record live here, so she has a good little streak going here. And I do believe that after the big shock of beating Athena, Maya World is going to get another shock win, and she will not only defeat Mercedes Moné, that means Maya World wins the Owen Hart Cup tournament. But, dear viewer, what comes with that? The Owen Hart title belt. Mercedes officially loses her Owen Hart belt to Maya, and Mercedes is 100% beltless. And Maya goes to All In to face whoever is the women's champion. So on that note, Starlight Kid defeats Tekla. She has her little run as AEW Women's Champion, but somehow, because she's the CEO, somehow at Redemption next month in July, we get Mercedes Moné versus Starlight Kid for the women's title, and Mercedes Moné beats Starlight Kid at Redemption, and then at All In, we have the rematch. Maya World versus Mercedes Moné for the Women's World Championship. Now, early prediction, hashtag spoiler alert. I would love to see Maya win that match, but I don't think Mercedes is finally going to win the big one and then have a little title run. So we can establish Maya as a contender. She could go on this winning streak leading up to All In. But it just depends. If the fans really do get behind her, maybe Mercedes does take one for the team and gives Maya the world title. And then she comes back, maybe, all right, that's August, September, maybe she comes back at full gear in November and wins it back. Because Maya right now is the story. Mercedes has a story too, but Maya is the feel-good story. With the tragedy in her life and her not wanting to stop wrestling. So you have a feel-good story with Maya, and then you have a redemption arc with Mercedes that she is completely beltless, and she needs a belt to be who she is, and she'll get redemption at Redemption. So it's an interesting future that Tony Khan and AEW have right now, but that's the way I'm seeing it when it comes to the ladies. And we're going to crown a new TBS champion, I think, either next week or the following week. So a lot of things are happening in the women's division in AEW, and I like it that it's unpredictable, but I just gave you what I think is going to happen. So yeah, so these two matches I'm looking forward to see, all right, if I got it right with the women's title and I get it right with the Owen Hart Cup finals. So Tekla loses to Starlight Kid. Maya World defeats Mercedes Moné and takes Mercedes' final belt this Sunday. Whew! There's my Austin Theory for the weekend. All right, moving now to the finals of the men's tournament. We have Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. They fought a couple years ago for the Forbidden Door, I believe it was, or it was All In. I forgot which one it was. But last time these two guys were in the ring, it was phenomenal. And with the fact that the contendership for the world title is on the line, I do believe both men are going to pull all the stops for this one. We are going to get a phenomenal match. This could be, I think, the match of the night. Could be the match of the night. I don't know. I mean, when you have Will Ospreay and you have Swerve Strickland, what are you going to get besides greatness? So this can be, it's either this one or the Omega match is going to be the matches of the night. But I have a feeling this one is going to be it. I feel like they may go 20 minutes. In the end, the story is there of Will Ospreay winning this and going all in to get the title match in All In London in Wembley Stadium, his home court. The question is, who is Will going to face? Talk about that in a few seconds. Well, let's just finish this right now. Yeah, I love Swerve. He does a great job. He's doing a killer job as a heel. But the story arc is there with Will Ospreay going to Wembley. So your men's Owen Hart Cup winner will be Will Ospreay. And finally, which I think will be the main event, because the champion is there. We have the crazy 12-man steel cage match. We have the MJF and the Don Callis family versus the conglomeration, Darby Allin and Takeshita. Now, the stipulation is if the faces can win this match, that means that reach for the sky boy over here, Mark Briscoe gets a title shot against MJF. Prediction. Even though on Dynamite, the heels got the last laugh, they've been hyping this for so long, and for the heels to just flat out beat the faces and call it a day would be lame sauce. So I'm going against the grain and going against wrestling logic that, well, if this guy got the last laugh, that means they're losing. No, the faces did get the last laugh. Yeah. I'm still going with the faces to win. I believe that Mark Briscoe will get his title match against MJF, but not at Redemption. They have that Beach Blast show coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to crown a brand new women's TBS champion there with the women. But guess what? We're also going to have a world title match that night. MJF versus Mark Briscoe, and MJF will win. So yes, this is the cluster F of the night. All the people are going to bleed. What's going to happen is I do believe this is a match where Andrade turns and leaves the Don Callis family. Will cost the match. Might even be MJF taking the pin, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If this match is going to be insane, it's going to go long. There will be blood. There will be weapons. There will be everything. But in the end, the faces will win, and Mark Briscoe will get his title match, I believe, on that Beach Break episode of Dynamite. Now, early talk about All In and the future of AEW. Well, not the future of like where storylines could be going. Like I said, at Beach Break, the title match will be there between Briscoe and MJF. At Redemption, I think it'll be MJF versus Kenny Omega. And then actually at All In, it will be Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. The babyface versus babyface. This is your Hogan Warrior, Rock Austin babyface match, and it's going to be an All In. I think because of the fact that tickets are selling slow, or they're not selling as many as before, they're going to want to jam-pack that show with not too many matches, hopefully, but you want great. That's their WrestleMania, basically. So right now, the pay-per-view of the year has been Double or Nothing. So All In needs to answer their. It's like going against your own yourself is your competition. So they got to pack that show to get those ticket sales up, because I don't even think they're close to 30,000 sold, and it's already June. We have 2 months to go. So as good as MJF and Will Ospreay is, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay is a little bit better. So this pay-per-view and Redemption to the lesser extent as well is going to definitely dictate the future of All In. But again, hopefully the matches stay like this. There's no more added to the main card. That is, it's going to go long. It starts at 8. It'll be over by probably 12:30. They're in the West Coast, so Tony's going to go over, because logic says, well, the show really starts at 5 p.m. Oof. So they can go 5 hours and it's only 10 p.m. That is true. But 5 hours on the East Coast is 1 a.m. So, but I'm going to watch because I'm the AEW guy. So there you go. And so still should be a good show. But like I said in the intro, I think Tony Khan needs to retire the Forbidden Door concept. What's forbidden? That door is a revolving door. There is no door. It's a garage door. It's wide open. The shtick has left. You see other stars from other companies weekly on the weekly shows. So the charm has left. Again, I think the first two and possibly the third one were the best. And then it's like, oh, they're signing everybody over. So TK, if you're listening, anybody in WWE is listening, I think it's time to retire it. Let it be the final year of the Forbidden Door concept. Change the name, or get rid of the pay-per-view in June, or if they're going to go monthly, just change the name. Give us something new, but it still should be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. Gabbin in the comment sections, which matches you look forward to. Give us your predictions. Who do you think is going to win? What do you think of my Austin theory about the women's division going forward to All In? Put in the comments. Please like this video and subscribe. Again, put in the comments what you're feeling for All In the video description. I'm also going to put a link to Aaron and the boys over at NoDQ.com. Gave their predictions for Saturday's pay-per-view for WWE Night of Not That Many Champions. So they did their prediction shows. I'll put the link to the NoDQ page on the description. That's all I got. So if you're going to watch Forbidden Door on Sunday, enjoy it. I'll be watching it as well. Again, looking forward to it. Just not the concept. The concept is dead. They need to move on from it. And so, yeah. So again, please like the video, subscribe, check out their other videos I got up there. Thank you for the close to 200 people who have seen both episodes of the NWO 30th anniversary perspective, episodes 1 and 2. We're so close to 200 views. So check it out again. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. And part 3 is on its way next month in July. More videos coming, and just so much more to gab about. So thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Take care of yourself, everybody around you. God bless. And of course, enjoy Forbidden Door on Sunday night. Take care, everybody. See ya.